What's up, all you beautiful entrepreneurs? Welcome back to the podcast. Okay, so today I'm going to break down 5 books that will make you a lot more money. We cover different skills, different tactics, different strategies. We talk about the mindset of money in these different books. Each one of these can, if you apply them to your unique context, can make your business a lot more profitable, can make you as an entrepreneur much wealthier. Awesome. Now, for the most part, these books are books that I have not talked about a lot in other episodes where I've done book recommendations. So if you've listened to those in the past, you will hear some new books in here that you can pick up, add to the library, and start to sharpen your saw. So the very first book that I want to recommend to you is called Simple Numbers, Big Profits. Actually, I think the full title is Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profits. It's a funny title, but it's by Greg Crabtree. I actually have it on my desk with me right now. I'm rereading it. And in this book, he breaks down the language of business, which is accounting and finance. And for myself, I know I was really stressed about the concept of money when I first started business, because I had come from a background where for many years before that, I never really liked to look at my bank account because I always knew it was going to be in the red. And so it was easier for me just to ignore it and pretend like it didn't matter and just keep adding more credit card debt to my life, right? And that won't serve you in business, because you will go out of business very quickly if you run out of money and you can't serve your customers, you can't employ your team, and you start to carry a lot more weight on your shoulders. And I think the very first thing a lot of us do then is we start to think about how we can outsource our financing, our bookkeeping, our accounting to somebody else so that they can take responsibility for it. This has gotten me into a lot of trouble in the past, and I've seen this with a lot of my students get them into trouble too. Because the way I liken this is, if you can't speak the language of business, which is accounting and finance, then you're always relying on the interpreter to tell you what's going on. And the problem with that is the interpreter might not have your best interest in mind. They might not have as much context as you. They might not have as much skill or savvy as you, right? So the message that you're going to be receiving from the business is filtered through this intermediary. And a lot can go wrong in that equation. So this book is just a very simple way to understand the financial metrics within your business that really matter. So I highly recommend that book, Simple Numbers, Big Profits. Okay, book number 2, I don't have this sitting on my shelf here or my desk with me at the moment. It's called The Sales Acceleration Formula. And this was written by Mark Roberge. I believe he was from Salesforce. Salesforce or HubSpot, I can't remember, one of those two. But this book is all about how to implement an outbound sales team to your business. Now, this isn't going to be for every entrepreneur. This is going to be a great book if you're over 7 figures, you've maxed out the sales channels that you already have, which like inbound, organic, paid advertising, whatever. And you want to add on you want to bolt on a outbound sales team, somebody who's calling and like outreaching to people to bring in sales. This is where you want to go from, say, 10 million to 100 million. You need to have a sales team. You need to have a sales process. This book walks you through exactly how to do that, how to bolt on a sales team. Now, again, this isn't for everybody. If you're doing under 7 figures, don't worry about this. If you're doing under $10 million a year, you don't really need to worry about this book yet. But if you're at 10 million and you want to go to 50 quick, this is the book for you. All right. Book number 3 is called Buyback Your Time. It's by my personal coach, actually, Dan Martell. And Dan is great. He's fantastic at understanding how to maximize his time, his energy. And the way that he does this is through what he calls the buyback loop. And so the idea here is we want to replace ourselves at different levels of the ladder. We first remove ourselves from the admin of our life. That's the email, that's the grocery shopping, the laundry, all of those things. And then we outsource the operations, and then we outsource the marketing, and then we outsource the sales. But this book, Buy Back Your Time, is a process for understanding how we can use money to buy back our time. Rather than trading our time for money, we use our money to buy back our time. That's the concept. It is critical for every entrepreneur. I don't care how big you are right now. If you're in business and you're making sales, there are things that you're doing right now that are not the highest and best use of your time, that if you could spend more time doing the things that made you more money, you would make more money. This book will teach you how to build the infrastructure around your life to bring in people to take those things off of your plate that are not the highest best use so you can go make more money. Buy Back Your Time, Dan Martell. Very good book. Okay. Book number 4 is called The Magic of Thinking Big. The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. This is kind of a classic of the mindset literature, we'll say. And it's all about having these big, audacious, hairy dreams for our life that we can aim our rocket ship towards. And how by thinking big and dreaming big, it expands the horizon of what we think is possible. And as a result, we get so much further towards our goals just through this energetic exchange with the universe about saying, I want big things, and therefore I'm the type of person that can do big things, and therefore I achieve big things. The magic of thinking big. It's very interesting. It can come off as kind of frou-frou and like, little, whatever. But the more I'm in this game of entrepreneurship, the more I come to realize that our beliefs shape our reality. Our reality is nothing more than a reflection of our beliefs. And if you choose to believe big, great things for you and your business and your life, then you will likely achieve those things. But if you don't, then you won't. It's just that simple. So, the magic of thinking big. Okay, 5th book is Managing One's Self by Peter Drucker. This was a really important book for me in the beginning of my journey. And it still proves very pertinent, actually, at different phases of my journey, because your ability as an entrepreneur to build this machine, it's predicated on your discipline, your motivation. At any given moment, nobody's coming to look over your shoulder and make you do the thing. So you have this very real problem, which is you need to figure out how to manage yourself, manage your time, manage your energy, manage your resources to the best of your ability. And for a lot of us, myself included, like, I am a terrible manager of myself. I'm way too lax. I would let myself off the hook. I'm really lazy just inherently. And so I needed a book like this to help me understand how I could manage myself effectively. It's a very short book, but it's very impactful. Highly recommend it. Managing Oneself by Peter Drucker. Okay, so those are the 5 books that are going to make you a lot more money. If you want to make more money, go read these books. If you don't want to make more money, then stay away. And I don't know why you're tuning into the podcast, because that's a big part of what we do here. We try to make more money as entrepreneurs, become more profitable so we can increase the impact that we have on the world, and we can maximize our return on life. That's you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Don't forget to drop a like, drop a subscribe, leave a comment, and do all the cool things that help this podcast continue to grow and reach more entrepreneurs so that it can transform their lives as well. So I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Until then, stay hyper-focused, my friends.